The One Piece! The One Piece is real!
What's up, friends? I know I'm back. I said I might not do another video, but I figured, why not? There's just gonna be quick ones, and I don't spend a lot of time doing it, but it might look better. I got a new program to work with. So in this video, I'm gonna talk about a little something that Oda did to, I think, promote, well, One Piece as a whole. But you know, we got the second season of the live action coming out on Netflix, which I'm pretty excited for. I gotta say, the trailers look good, and I'm gonna talk about my experience at the Heroines Cup that I did. Well, it was last night where I am. I know there was a bunch. I only signed up for one. I was kind of busy around the past couple of weeks, jamming with my band. We had a show. So, but anyways, I'm going to get into it. Oda has confirmed the One Piece is real. Now, I'm thinking we all knew it was real, but I know there was some suspicion that it was going to be like, oh, the One Piece were the friends we made along the way, or something, you know, metaphorical or something. But what he has done, and I'm going to switch over to my other screen here. So I'm going to move up, and so One Piece creator Eiichiro Oda has hidden the secret of the One Piece on a piece of paper at the bottom of the ocean. Now it rests 651 meters below sea level at an undisclosed location until the story is completed. That's epic. And they actually released a video here, which we can watch.
What is the One Piece? That answer has been determined since the very beginning. The secret never written down.
Chills.
Kept in the mind of creator Eiichiro Oda. At long last, it has been inscribed on paper.
That's so cool. A little treasure box. Obviously, it's got to be airtight. Bottom of the ocean, all that pressure.
Until the whole story is revealed. The truth will rest far beyond anyone's reach. At the bottom of the ocean.
Boom. So good. Over 600 million copies sold worldwide. I think it has surpassed Superman now. And there he is. Nice. So I will admit, I have only really seen the anime and the live action. I've read a bit of the manga, but not enough, or well, I'm not even caught up with the anime, honestly. I'm only at like coming up to episode 600, which is in the depths of Punk Hazard, which is awesome. I'm loving it. It's a great kind of comedic slash really cool break after or not break, it kind of ramps up, but after Fishman Island, which I also liked. I know a lot of people didn't like it, but I enjoyed it. But now, ever since this was announced, of course, the internet has popped off because, you know, the internet's gonna internet. So there's this thing here, One Piece Hunter. Our goal is clear: to use every possible resource to find or to be the first to find the treasure. We have been a team of passionate fans since day one, and we are in contact with people on site who have started the investigation to follow the trail of the One Piece. It is clear that Eiichiro Oda has left clues. It may be a marketing move, of course, but nothing is left to chance. We are convinced of that. We plan to travel there once we have finished organizing the expedition, and we will document everything on this account. Any help to support our research is welcome. Now, I gotta commemorate them. I mean, like, leave it to the internet. The internet will internet. And as you can see, One Piece fans have already found the location of where the One Piece is just after just 13 hours. Now, I don't know if this is confirmed. You know, there's a lot of, information on the internet. But possible location of the One Piece response to 600 meter milestone video. So you can see, they've like, oh, the JP Coast Guard. Let me break this down as much as I can. Clue 1 will assume off the coast of Japan in Japanese territory from the ship, the crew, and the fact that this would be illegal to dump in the ocean. I'm guessing Oda has gotten permission from the Japanese Coast Guard, and the treasure has tracking so that they can find it later. Like, it, they'll look for anything, like, you leave it to the internet. So you can even see, actually, I want to see some of these comments. And then it's the only move if they actually find it and are true One Piece fans. Yeah, destroy it. Don't let anyone see. You gotta actually wait to see in the story what the One Piece is. Yeah, okay. I want to play this clip.
Is that? No, it can't be. Now that everything's gone to hell, I have to get a little creative. I'm gonna uphold the wishes of the original architects.
Just shut up and hand them over already!
When Frankie burned the notes to Pluton in Annie's lobby. I love that scene. The whole arc is so good. So you can see here even, okay, One Piece Hunter is a little update. We've actually looked into what it would take to recover the One Piece at 650 meters depth in Sagami Bay. This wouldn't be a dive. This would be a pirate era diving like no one ever thought about. Here's our plan, and they list it all here. Like, you can go to the account yourself. I'm not going to read all of it, but they've fuel, port fees, insurance premiums, operational support. It's wild. They even have this little thing. Now, I would never do something like this. Like, I made the joke to my friends, like, hey guys, who wants to help make me the pirate king? Let's go be pirates, find the One Piece. But honestly, I get boat sick, so I would not be able to do this. And going under the ocean is one little thing. Like, do you want to end up like Ocean Gate? Eh? Oh. Yeah. Don't worry. If you cannot get the Jamstack sub, we can always count on Ocean Gate. Oh no! Like, rest in peace. Like, those guys, they didn't deserve that. That was a tragic little accident that happened. But you can even see Eiichiro Speed. Eiichiro Speed announced he'll be doing a treasure hunting stream to search for the One Piece treasure hidden 600 meters deep in the ocean. That's wild. I don't know if this is true. Again, lots of weird accounts on Twitter. I just see this pop up and I'm like, hey, I don't watch Eiichiro Speed myself. I know he's really popular. He's like one of the biggest streamers or whatever. And he really likes One Piece, and that's cool. But, good for him if he's going to try to fund it. I'm sure like Mr. Beast and people like that will be in on it too. Hell, get Elon Musk or whatever. But you know what? I just think it's really cool. Like, I love when they do marketing plays like this, because not only will it get people more interested in what's coming out, but it might get people interested in going back and watching it from the beginning, like I did. Like, when I first saw the Netflix series, I was like, this is sick. I'm going to go back and watch the anime because I want to get context for all this stuff. And it's also fun to see, what they changed between the anime and the live action. Because, adaptations like this are never really 100% to the source material. But after watching the anime, I have to say, like, they did a really good job of kind of capturing the essence of the anime and maybe the manga, and bringing it to live action. Like, I really like the actors that they chose. It seems like the actors themselves are fans of One Piece, and if they weren't, then they definitely are now. Actually, I have another clip here which I kind of liked.
What was your familiarity with One Piece before being cast?
Now I feel so ignorant because before I was cast, not at all, to be honest. Which, like, is so surprising to me now that I'm fully immersed in the world and obsessed with it, because I see it absolutely everywhere. I've limited myself now to end of a specific arc, which I cannot say. And then I'm just focusing on that right now, and then I'm gonna continue onwards. But it's been such a wonderful journey. I've really enjoyed getting to experience the manga and the anime.
What was your
Yeah, I think that's really cool. Like she took it upon herself to kind of go and watch the anime, and I'm really happy that the directors were fine with that. Like, because you hear about all these projects that are taking IPs that we've known and loved and saying like, oh, we didn't want to watch the original story because then it would cloud our vision of what we wanted to do, which I think is kind of dumb. Like, I think if you're working on a story that's a beloved IP, you should familiar yourself with the original, because there's a reason why so many people got into the original in the first place. And if you're totally ignoring that, the fans, like, the fans that are going into it that already loved it, they're going to be put off. Like maybe you could get lucky and score it. Like, I don't know. I can't even think of one off the top of my head, because most of them are familiar with, and the ones that didn't, kind of flopped. But if you yeah, then like, and if it doesn't end up being a good piece of media, you're going to drive away the people who are originally fans, and you're not going to get any new fans, and it's just going to be a flop. Like I know, like the most recent Resident Evil movie or something, they said they're not doing anything that has to do with Resident Evil. It's like, why even call it a Resident Evil movie then? It's like you're just using the name to make money. You're not actually being faithful to the source material, and I don't know. I don't respect. Anyways, so that's it for that. Next, I want to talk about the Heroines Cup. Yeah, I didn't do so good. I actually did worse than I thought I would. I didn't win one match. Kind of sucks, but I didn't get very much practice with my Shirahoshi deck before going into it. Like I said, I was really busy leading up to the day. I had the first show with my new band last Friday, so all last week we were practicing. Like we practiced twice in 1 week, which we usually do just 1 week, and then in the evenings I was just practicing my parts on guitar, because I've never actually played live on my guitar. I'm usually a bassist, but in this project I decided to pick up guitar. So yeah, I didn't do so good. I was a little disappointed, but I did have fun. I ended up going up against a couple of my friends that I see there a lot. And they wiped the floor with me. My first matchup was with Blue Yellow Boa. I made some mistakes, which costed me, and the player just ended up wiping me using Perfume Femur and all the attached Rested Dawn. Like it was wild. Second, I went up against Bello Betty, Red Yellow Bello Betty. That's an aggressive deck, especially for Shirahoshi, especially when they're using that Karasu card that brings my leader down to 4,000 instead of 5,000. And I'm just ditching cards and trying to put out as many blockers as possible. But he ended up wiping me. Then I went up against Yellow Bonnie. Wasn't expecting the board removal, so I actually played one of my 3-cost Shirahoshis on one of my first turns just because it was one of the only cards I could play. And I was like, okay, I'll set it there, and then when I'm ready, I have some Neptunians, and I want to add a life, I'll use it. Well, he ended up removing it in the next turn. And then, of course, using Eustace Captain Kidd to take away my life. And yellow decks, man. They can be pretty tough. I mean, Shirahoshi Yellow Green is a bit of a different. It doesn't play like most yellow decks. Like there's not as many triggers, but Yellow Bonnie is definitely trigger heavy and lots of life adding. And yeah, it was tough. And then my last matchup was actually against another Shirahoshi, and again she ended up kind of wiping me. It was a long match though. We kept adding life to each other, or we kept adding life onto our life cards. And yeah, it went on for a bit. We went a little over time, but I just kind of panicked at the end when we went over time, and she ended up just clearing me. But it was fun. It's cool. It's cool to see another Shiro Hoshi deck too. I actually went through her deck and I was like, oh, there's some cards in here that kind of makes sense. She actually did put in a Useless Captain Kid because that's non-play, take away a life from your opponent's life cards. So that's not a bad idea. Yeah, and a couple of other cards that I thought were pretty creative. One good thing is from my pack, because we get one pack of OP14, I did pull two pretty decent cards. So I got a Ground Death. It's kind of hard to see. It's not going to focus. Whatever. Got a Ground Death, and then I also got an SR Nami, which is a pretty good card if you're playing red green Luffy. So rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters on play. Rest up to 2 of your opponent's characters with a cost of 8 or less. Two characters, 8 or less. And then set 5 of your Dawn cards as active at the end of this turn, which is perfect for red green Luffy because he uses Dawn as 2Ks. Tough leader. I went up against him one time. And she's a blocker. Although she's only 2K blocker. But still, all the other things are great. And it's actually a nice looking card. I'll probably just put it in my binder. And then for my pack, because you get like one of the promo packs, I ended up pulling Nami. I'm just like pulling all the Namis. I don't know. But, whatever. I'll put it in my binder. It's one of those things that a lot of people are looking for the Robin, which would have been nice to pull. I'm a fan of Robin. I like Robin more than Nami. I think she's a cooler character. Wouldn't be using her in my deck or anything. But yeah. Well, that's pretty much it. Next week, going back to Red Block Sabo. That should be hopefully see a couple more wins. Feel better about myself. But for now, that's it. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.